Welcome to another episode of Imminent Peril, the creatively chaotic role-playing party game. I'm your host, Aaron Lanowitz. In this game, you and your friends are trapped together in a deadly scenario, running from one life-threatening situation into another, using special abilities and your imagination to survive. You all share in world building and storytelling throughout the game. This is an online version of a card game coming soon to Kickstarter. Please check out the link in the description for more info. I'm Aaron, the creator. Players, please introduce yourselves.
I'm Grishtrap. Not much to say about me.
I'm Andrell. Same.
I'm Kate Gibson, author of books as the Shadow Master series, Technomancer series, and others. And I work on the team as part of the art department, developing the artistic sides of the game. So
I promise you that this game is going to be more exciting than the player introductions thus far.
yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, like blah blah blah, whackety schmackety, radio voice announcer, coming at you live. Well, sure, if we could do that. It's 7:00 on a Sunday. I'm tired. I'm old now.
It's fair. We're all
I
feeling
hear
it.
that.
All right, so we're all veteran players. We all reasonably know how to play the game, so we'll kick it off. Roll the scenario. So today we are starting in a alien
dinosaur
park. Oh, nice.
With kung fu.
Inhabited
Unicorns.
by cartoon.
Oh, cartoon unicorns.
Cartoon unicorns. Yep.
You guys.
Cartoonicorns. So we're fighting My Little Pony. We are in.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So we are in an alien.
That's the alien dinosaurs are unicorns.
Yeah, in my head, I think it's one situation where it's kind of like it's like a reverse you would think of it as something like aliens from another planet are like picking up like predators. They're picking up people and bringing them to their park to hunt them. And but it's run by the real space My Little Ponies. They are animated unicorns who are like, murder, happy murder time corn and, things like that. So, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly. Nice, Chris.
Yeah, I think I should have a rainbow dash next to me for this.
So are we one of the exhibits? Are we one of the captives in this?
I don't. I want to be a captive. I want to be someone who was some human that was beamed up, like pulled off. I was like just in the middle, like on my commute to work one day. No, nothing special. Just like Tom Thomerson of Ohio. Just a random Joe. So
I think I'm also going to be a captive. Since these are aliens and they have some sort of transportation system. The reason why this is a dinosaur park is because they don't technically understand the concept of time when it comes to our planet. So they've been taking things from all different parts of time. And the thing they like the best is the dinosaurs. And I happen to be a feral cave child, or no longer a child, but I was taken here as a child sort of thing. I'm now a woman with a club surviving in an exhibit that occasionally gets broken into by dinosaurs of some kind, having to club them to death.
Nice.
And I want to be the caretaker of the humans. I want to be a human who somehow managed to work her way into a liaising position where I tell them what we need.
So you're like you're the one Israelite who helped the Pharaoh build the pyramids. You could whip us harder. I'm just saying, you could really help you capture these.
But I want to add to Griz's story.
Okay.
Because she's this cave raised child, came here as a child, raised trying to survive among dinosaurs. As far as all the other humans that I care for go, she's like a myth. Like, no one ever really sees her. You kind of hear some grunting and running by, and sometimes you see some dead animals in the exhibit, and we can't figure it out. And that's how I got promoted, because I'm just trying to figure out how to care for everybody and stop the mythy thing.
So I'm a parent who got a little lost at Disneyland, and I'm looking for my kids, and I actually don't know that I got teleported to this alien planet by unicorns. I'm just wandering through, completely unaware that things have actually gotten a lot more dangerous. And it just seems like, wow, they put a lot of money into these exhibits. Like, this is amazing. Jimmy, Frank, Susie, where the hell did you guys go?
How did you name your kids Frank and Susie?
I'm a bad parent.
Clearly, it's from 1952. So
yeah, I am also pulled from time.
There you go.
All right, so I'll throw out some ability cards for us.
All right. So how does this new version work? It's the
Everything's the same. The only difference is when it comes to elimination, instead of anybody getting eliminated, whoever has the most votes has to explain how things slightly didn't work out for them, and they've been
Right.
hobbled or injured in some kind of way that carries into their next round.
Understood. So then how do you determine the winner if it's not a last person standing?
So
How do you,
all the votes carry throughout the rounds. So any votes
so
that
someone,
you've
there's a
accumulated,
scorekeeper keeps keeping the
well, they just stay piled up in front of you. So at the end of the,
Okay.
let's say 3 rounds, whoever has the least
Got
number
it.
of votes wins.
Okay, makes sense. Cool.
And give me, for an example, last game, and I think this is hilarious. I got voted. I had metal bones and claws, and I was being attacked by healthy Shangri-La because we were in Candy
Yep.
Shangri-La, and they threw nuts, and and I was like slicing through them, and everyone like I got the most votes. And so I said, well, it turns out I'm allergic to nuts, and now I'm just swelling
Yep,
up.
sure.
So
Yep.
it just made it a little bit harder.
All right, so let's shift targets once. And does everybody remember what their target was last doing?
Well, we were all
Not
just
where
in
we
the thing.
were.
We never placed ourselves. Ourselves.
Okay, so let's get a little bit more specific about where we were.
All right, so if I'm Tom Thomerson of 1987, because we're all displaced out of time. I'm driving my my Fiesta, listening to the tape deck of I'm trying to think what are some of the hits of '87? Probably a Roxette song, jamming out to the look, as one does. And next thing I know, I'm in this dinosaur park alien thing, and I'm probably they probably dropped me off in one of the jungle sections. Just got out of my car, and I'm literally just standing in the woods looking around. I imagine I'm in one of the habit preserves. Now I don't know if there's actual dinosaurs here or not. We can determine that later, or we were food for the dinosaurs. But all I know is there are probably some kind of really jerky unicorns out there. So I'm just standing in one of the big fern forest looking. Oh, you don't see that every day. So yeah, that's where I'm at with my piano key neckties.
So I got beamed into an exhibit. Now I think I'm looking through the cage at an exhibit at the the pony families who are staring at me, and I'm looking at the ponies oh wow, they're so pretty and they look so real and cute, and they're staring at me their eyes are wide oh, it's a human. They're probably looking at something behind me as well, and I'm oblivious to it. We'll see.
So, being a feral not child anymore, but still kind of childlike, but an adult. I spend my time hunting a lot. I'm also in the jungle section, and I'm currently up a tree watching for little Eoraptors who are probably going to be hunting the next thing that's been dropped into their cage. And I'll be taking advantage of trying to hunt them by smashing them with my club. So I'm up a tree, basically, in a general vicinity of Gibby.
I'm gonna be at the edge of the glass where there's a little bit of a cubby and an intercom talking about the needs. Like, we just got somebody new, so now we need an extra bed, we need more rations of food, kind of thing.
So you're just are you inside or outside of one of the displays?
I'm in. I just have
Okay.
access to a panel to communicate our
Okay.
needs. That's how I'm liaising.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're the head honcho of the people in your habitat. So,
All right, so we got to start putting people in peril. So
Yep.
since Andrell's the first one there, all right, so do I just go and flip it so I could just make something up here on the spot?
Mhm.
All right.
All right,
All right,
Gibby, you're
Gibby,
up first.
what you got?
Fantastic. All right, because the menace is not. We're in a dinosaur park in space. Park in space, but the menace, the true menace, are these cartoon unicorns, and that's why you hear the announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, guests of the park, welcome to Murder Town. The wild hunt will now begin. All humans will now be hunted for your pleasure. So even you're typing your thing, your little intercom, electric shock shoots you back. You're now and you hear the hooves of the wild hunt has finally begun. This has been a big thing that's coming. They kept you busy. Yeah, monitor these children, monitor these things. That's great. But now the horde is coming in. You're the closest one to the door where they're coming in. So at least there's a whole cadre, a little spear of Riders of Rohan, but cartoon unicorns are now angling down on you. There's Murder Heart, Death Horn, shits on hooves. They're all coming right at you right now. So you got a few seconds before you're the first one impaled by cartoon murder death.
All right, Grizz, you're up.
Like I said, unaware currently of this wild hunt thing that's about to happen. I mean, I'm in a different part of the habitat. I'm in the jungle section. You're in a in a different section, so that's not going to affect us for a while. So I'm busy trying to hunt the Eoraptors. The Eoraptors, however, are hunting Gibby because Gibby, or rather Tom, wasn't it? Tom? Something like
Tom
that?
Thomerson
Tom Thomerson.
of Dayton, Ohio.
Has no idea that there are dinosaurs creeping
None whatsoever.
through the jungle behind him. The Eoraptors are small raptors.
Okay.
But they are still very dangerous creatures, especially since they are pack hunters. And they are all basically now leaping on you from behind, getting ready to tear you to bits. Basically, probably the most startling thing that's ever happened to you since being teleported in the first place, since, raptors are not something you ever expected to run into. And it's well before Jurassic Park came out, so...
Oh yeah, you'd have no idea.
But basically, a bunch of feathered creatures, bird-like creatures, but without beaks, are now piling onto you, trying to slash you with the little claws, the little sickle claw on their feet, trying to slash you. They're small. I believe Eoraptors are about the size of chickens, maybe a bit bigger, but small but nasty.
Got it. Not a problem.
All right, Grizz. You've grown accustomed to your life in your habitat, but over the years you've also made enemies with some of your fellow inhabitants. There is a particular female gorilla who has been also plucked from time, who has attempted to gain dominance and lead the humanoids in the pack, but has never risen to lead like you have. And hearing the alarm going off and knowing the wild hunt is once again upon the habitat, she leaps out to try to take advantage of the confusion, and she's attacking you, looking to bite your face off.
All right, Aaron, yours is nice and simple. You're staring at the force field that's separating these unicorns that are now getting ready to do the wild hunt and the exhibit. So you're staring out, and all of a sudden the force field just flickers out. And the family that's there, the mom unicorn and the dad unicorn and the kid unicorn, the mom and the dad are like, okay, we've prepared you for this. This is your first time. You go get them. Just remember, keep your head down. You got this. And the baby unicorn lowers its head, horn first, and is charging at you while mama and daddy look on very, very proud of their child getting ready to commit its first wild hunt kill.
Aww. Great. Does everybody feel adequately imperiled?
Yes.
Once you know which ability you'll use to survive, put it face down in front of you.
All right, so thanks to Grizz's little compies, little E-Raptors, like that, they're coming at me, and I'm like, Tim Thomerson's like, oh man, this is weird, whoa, it's just, this is so bizarre, The first one latches onto me, and it awakens something inside me, something I always knew was there, but I never knew how much, and that's when my lycanthropy takes over, and I become a were-raptor. And I shred my cousins. I chew them to pieces. They do not stand a chance. I'm a man-raptor hybrid. I guess my weakness is cold weather, but thank God we're in this biome, which is just for warm dinosaur type things. So, right now I'm feeling king of the jungle, baby. So, yeah, man, I'm a man-raptor. I'm a maptor. So.
All right. Hostage, you have something that the threat cares about, which you can leverage against. Oh dear. Okay, so the one thing that maybe the big potential chief gorilla hasn't actually thought about was the fact that I happen to have her child. See, a while back, the reason why she really hates me and wants to take over and thinks that I'm the leader of the pride, even though I'm mostly a loner, is because I killed her mate. It wasn't really something that I'd wanted to do, but it happened. And the mate happened to be caring about the child at the time, which was ill-conceived in his point, because he's the one that attacked me. But, I could have the child now as a hostage, and have had that child kind of hanging out with me and, doing gorilla things. So, as soon as I see her coming for me, I grab up the little one and keep it close, basically indicating that if she does tear my face off, if she gets any closer to tear my face off, well, me and the little one are both going to drop out of this tree and go falling to our deaths. Especially since there's all those copies, or there were all those Eoraptors down there, and now there's one really big raptor down there that's probably going to eat us if we go down.
Half man, half raptor, all badass.
Exactly.
All right, so the most adorable little unicorn is tipping down and attempting to charge to disembowel me. Well, I'm used to playing with kids doing dangerous, stupid shit. I see what it's doing, and I shake my head like, oh, you want to play a little headbutt tag, do you? And I, I polish my bald spot that have taken plenty of poundings, and I dip down, and meet it head for head, and I animal mimicry. I channel my inner ram, and I headbutt it right back.
I'm gonna swap.
I should hope so.
I'm gonna swap my location since I'm near the front because I was communicating on the intercom. I'm gonna swap my location with the location of Daddy Unicorn. Let his ass get trampled.
Cold.
You cannot swap yourself.
That's true.
Swap myself.
Read the card, Andrell.
Dang it. It's fine. I'll swap the yeah, okay. I'll swap the charging horde with the horde of the now shredded E-Raptors. Yeah.
Now, is that directly putting me more in peril, or is that just for the later round? Does that affect me now?
Next round.
Well,
okay, that's fine.
I think all of these things are happening at the same time, so you're playing with. Well, Andrell's trying to do something with something that's like happening, so I don't think that's quite possible.
No, I'll take it. I mean, for the fun of the game, I don't mind it. I can work my way through this.
Okay. All right, we'll roll with it. So when you know who you vote for, just put it underneath their card. Don't put it on top of their card like the other type of game.
We'll pull it down first,
Yeah.
and then when we release it.
So,
all right.
3, 2, 1, drop them. So, as the winner of that round, as I like to consider it, me and their baby unicorn butt heads, and it hurts a little bit. Like, it got me right in the center of my bald spot. I go, oh! And I stand up, and I don't see the little baby unicorn anywhere. I'm looking around, and I hear a little squealing, and I look up, and I don't see anything. And I shrug my shoulders and say, okay, that's weird. And I walk back into my cage, and there's just a little spike of a baby unicorn sticking up out of my head with little feet like flailing about, just firmly jammed into the top of my skull. But I'm a little oblivious. My head's a little top heavy, but you know, I'm a dad. I've suffered a few head injuries over my time. I'm the drop in IQ points isn't all that noticeable from my baseline. I am kind of veering to the side a little bit every now and then. I don't notice.
Tired dad, you just get used to it. Like there's extra weight on your head. It's something's crawled on you all the time. So yeah.
That's actually part of why it's so bald. Is that he sits with the piggyback with his kids, and they just hold onto the hair and slowly pulls it out by the root.
Yeah. So I have a hitchhiker. There might be something wrong with my coordination, and I might be leaking brain fluids. We'll see how that plays out.
All right, next round, Aaron.
Flip your card when you know what's going to happen to your target next. All right, Grizz, you're up first.
All right, Grizz.
All right. So, Eoraptors were about the size of chickens, and you were swapping in the same amount of their mass with the mass of full-grown ponies, which are considerably bigger. So only a handful of said ponies actually transferred to where the new man raptor is, leaving the bodies of the Eoraptors in front of you. There's still a bunch more in the wild hunt coming in. Although, while not all of them are directly aimed at you, some of the ones that are now wondering where their companions went are all looking at you and dashing in your direction with their glorious horns. There's probably a lot of impaling in your future, unless you can find some way around it.
Okay.
So, Thomerson. Unbeknownst to you, there's a very upset mother gorilla above your head. She sees her child still held hostage, and she's going into a rage. She starts jumping up and down on the branch that she's on, and she starts beating her chest, and suddenly the branch gives way, and she starts hurtling down.
The one that was angry at Grizz is now coming from me.
Well, she's not coming for you. The branch.
No, she was angry at Grizz.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And then the branch underneath her broke, and she's just tumbling and falling through the tree, and she's about to crush you accidentally.
Okay.
As she falls.
Okay, got it.
Gravity's coming for you.
Gravity is
No,
attacking you with a
love it.
mother gorilla.
Branch falls, she falls. I'm getting all this stuff coming down on top of me.
Yeah.
I got a lot of gorilla coming down on my man raptor. Got it.
All right, Grizz. Since the monkey is now falling down, for Gibby, your peril is that now the child is now very upset. It thinks you killed its mom, or you killed its dad, and now you basically killed its mom, and now it's actually really mad at you. And so it might be really tiny, but it can still bite you, and it's got the old timey monkey fangs, and so it's gonna bite you
They can
in
tear
your
your face
jugular.
off.
Yeah, it's going for your jugular, right here.
All right, so you're standing there, Mr. Aaron, Dad from Disneyland or some other theme park that may or may not have a name, baby unicorn in head and like that. While you're oblivious from this head injury, you're still looking for your kids. So are the other parents who are now looking for their kid. They're like, meh, meh, meh. I'd imagine, like, the unicorn is like up on top of you. One, it's flopped over now, and it's pissing in your eyes. You're blind as shit. It's because it flops over. So you got a horse wagging your face, and it's peeing on you because that's what kids do. Because it's still trying to murder you, but it can't get down. But then it's calling for its mom and dad. And mom and dad are like, all right. So while you are pee blind, they're both charging at the same time to kill you with their adorable cartoon horns into your heart. That's your peril at the moment.
Yep, I have terrible hand for dealing with these sort of complete combat situations. Sadly.
Grizz, you're up. Let's see
All
what
right,
happens.
let's see what do I got. Could be worse. Bird! Oh no! Use the power of music and song to manipulate your audience. The better your real life performance, the better the result. Entrance the rowdy tavern into a sing-along. Demoralize your audience with the harsh critique of their life choices. Make them love you. Again, feral child. But maybe she does wordless singing with her voice. She sees that the little baby is now very angry and trying to attack her, and so she starts to sing like something like that, something pleasing that might suddenly make it stop fighting and want to sleep instead. Because it's just a bit of song. You must need words.
Yeah, barbarian. I go into a rage.
Barbarian.
Abandoning any consideration for my own well-being to multiply the ferocity of my offense. So as the young one drizzles wildly into my eyeballs, this is so like my kids just trying to change their diaper, and they fucking winkle straight into my eyeballs. The familiar burn overtakes my eyes, and as I lose the ability to see, I just scream into a violent rage, and reaching for whatever I can grab a hold of, shake violently. My hands grip upon the two horns of the parents trying to impale me, and I grab them and I pick them both up like two meaty clubs. I just start swinging them around. And I smash the parents by their horns into the ground around me, yelling in a urine-induced rage.
Nice.
Alrighty. So as everything's charging at me, I took out the first wave. I replaced it with dead scraps of things or dying things. Great for me. The next wave is coming at me, and I just, you know what? Nah, screw it. Cluster body. My body is actually made up of a collection of smaller individuals, some things clinging to each other to impersonate a larger body. So in this particular case, I'm going to transform into the thing that we know all unicorns are terribly afraid of, and I'm going to break down into my form, that I was holding together, and it's suddenly several rats, and we scatter.
Nice.
3 rats in a trench coat.
Yeah, exactly.
More like a 3 dozen, a few dozen rats in a trench coat.
Tim Thomerson of Dayton, Ohio, arrived to this place. He was driving along one day, got transported him and his Pontiac Fiero, got pulled into this location, got out of his car, like I said, and now all this crap has happened to him. And now he got bitten and unleashed his lycanthropy. And now, for whatever reason, there's a gorilla falling on him. But now there's his were-raptor lycanthropy has manifested. He's bigger, he's stronger, he's faster, and he's also a master of oversized weapons. So the the Pontiac Fiero was never a big car. So being bigger and stronger, I pick it up by the end and whip it around, and I pop that gorilla like a major league slugger and launch her happy ass woo-hoo-hoo out of here, out of the park, drop the car, and take off into the woods on all fours, and in the hunt for new prey. Because now I'm the hunter.
With classic Goofy movie sound effects.
Yeah.
All right. So when you know who you vote for, pick up a token.
3, 2,
Hey, 3, 2,
1,
1,
go.
drop. Why is
Wait,
one
who-
in the between two?
Yeah, that's supposed to be for Aaron or
My
me.
bad.
Okay.
I couldn't vote for anybody, so I was just trying to do a random chance. I should have rolled the dice instead. Sorry.
That's fine.
All right. So I
But-
think that Bard got
Grizz.
2.
Yeah.
So what went slightly wrong?
Yeah, I think the gorilla, the baby gorilla ended up attacking my face, making my ability to sing suddenly go. And I think that I am now falling backwards out of the tree, which might mean I am also heading for a precipitous fall on top of the man raptor. But we'll see how that.
Man Raptor took off into the woods.
Okay, good. Then maybe to where the man raptor in the car used to be.
You're landing
Either way-
well, that is true. Thank God for Fast and Furious rules. If you land on a car, it's like it's landing on a cushion. You can't get hurt if you fall on a car.
Yeah,
That's just science.
A nice soft, comfy hood collapse.
Exactly.
So when you know what will happen to your target next, flip your card. Andrell, as a high-end Jurassic cartoon zoo for the unicorn folk, they don't take kindly to pests. So they've populated their zoo with some cartoon cats to make sure they stay on top of any mice problems that might pop up. Now, you might be familiar with the efficacy of cartoon cats, so they might not have the best track record in how they kill rats and cartoon mice, but you've got some cartoon cats with some goofy ideas on how to capture and crush and squash rats, like some goofy, overly complicated traps and like chain reaction series of events things that'll squash you, and like classic Tom and Jerry hijinks that are all set up to squish and kill or eat various your 12 body parts as you flee.
Gibby, you are
Yo.
running through the jungle forest now, right?
Mhm.
So what happens as you're running through this jungle, and one of the creatures that was scooped up because they thought it was a human, kind of humanoid, is Sasquatch. So you have this Bigfoot, and he's in the jungle, not his native habitat, and he is pissed. And then he
Good.
sees you running through, and he's just like, oh yeah, that's something I can rip apart.
Love it. Bring on the Squatch. All right. Who was I don't remember who I was targeting anymore. Grizz Drop, I believe it was. Yes, I believe I was targeting the Grizz. Grizz. I don't know if you know this about the Pontiac Fiero, but in 1987, about 1 in 400, there's a big, massive recall due to the engines exploding. This is an honest-to-God fact. I pulled up the thing to make sure, because I had a friend who had the Fiero, and we were always afraid we were going to die in his car. So in 1987, the company recalled 125,000 of the Ford's four-cylinder version of the 1984 model because of car engine fires occurred once in every 400 cars. Well, guess what? You're falling on car number 400. You are falling. It's already damaged from the big whack of knocking the giant gorilla out of the park, and now it's leaking gasoline. Spark, spark, spark. Kagoosh. And that's what you're falling on top of, is an exploding Pontiac Fiero and what's left of my Pioneer tape deck. So yeah, it was, sorry about that. But it's cranking the tunes to, She's Got the Touch by Roxette. So it's a good way to go out. Na 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 na.
All right.
Na 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 na.
And meanwhile, the barbarian with a horn stuck in his head is just raging and squashing other unicorns. And while this is an alien zoo, he happens to be in an enclosure, a little bit of an enclosure rather than, from what it sounds like, just outside as normal with everyone, with other people. It seems like there's little rooms here and there, like maybe that's where Andrell is and all of that, based on the description. Well, in any case, he's actually underneath something that has a roof on it. And with all this rage going on, he's accidentally knocking out its structural integrity. And so the entire roof is now collapsing down upon him. First, crushing the baby unicorn, crushing the baby unicorn that's still stuck in his head, but possibly embedding that horn deeper into his brain or
Nice.
into the spinal column. Either way, there's multiple ways this could go really wrong for you.
That's amazing.
There's some construction scaffolding of one outside one of the paddocks, and you are just bringing it down like Samson. So
driving him like a little nail into my brain.
Yep.
All right, that's amazing. All right,
Aaron.
My cards have
Guess
lined
I'm
up for my
first, huh?
story. It has worked out for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's pretty good.
It just gets better.
All right, let's see what I got.
That's not bad.
Could be worse. Oh, I am thankfully an acrobat. I can perform remarkable feats of acrobatics, gymnastics, and contortion. So, as I finally blink the urine from my eyes and see the world falling around me, I take a deep breath to bring my body and my peace under control, and I start just moving and doing like dodge, duck, dive, and dodge, and doing like sweet flips where my hands don't touch the floor, but my feet like move, and the poor little like baby pony's like ah, as it also like counterbalances the movement of my body, and I do handsprings and stuff so I don't drive the little pony further into my skull, and kicking off of large chunks of stuff that are falling so I can push myself through things before I'm crushed entirely. And then the very last thing, like as I'm sliding out of the collapsing containment unit, I slide feet first so that the last piece of debris squashes the tiny horse and allows my body's weight to pop the post out of my head, and I'm free from the
Out of there. Yeah.
freed from my my little spear buddy.
Killed the baby.
No, the collapsing house did.
I'm being chased by cartoon cats. As was already mentioned, how they are based on anime cartoon kind of pieces. Saturday morning cartoon pieces, stories. I can befuddle. I can perform baffling actions to create confusion and disarray. The better my real life performance, the better results. So as I'm running, I draw on the base of a tree, right? Where the path, like that there's a opening and that it's actually two trees on the side so that the cats run into it. As I'm going, I cut a rope and a cartoon anvil falls. Like all kinds of crazy stuff as I'm going. I'm just befuddling the crap out of them.
All right. Tim Thomerson, Dayton, Ohio, is living his best life now. Life sucked before, but now that he's like a were-raptor running through the woods, smacking gorillas with a Ford Fiero, and now there stands before him another king of a beast, another cryptid that says, "Not today, sir." And Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Harry and the Hendersons himself is staring me down. No. See, now that I'm in this position, I'm a ranger, and I'm really good at tracking and obliterating a particular kind of thing. And Sasquatch, baby, you stand in my way. God, you're the first threat, a real threat I've come across. So I dash right through the air past Sasquatch, raptor talons out, cut his throat, keep on running. Samurai style, anime style, and keep on hunting.
You know, my brother and his family are from Dayton, Ohio. None of them are that cool.
Well, yeah. Well, are they lycanthrope raptors?
No.
They would be.
Yeah, see, that's an unfair comparison.
Meanwhile, I have been falling out of the tree with this little ape baby clinging to me, having clinging to my face. I imagine it is panicking, and unfortunately for it, the explosion isn't going to do much to me as I spin around, allowing the explosion of the car beneath me to, well, take the little one, since it is trying to kill me, so all fair and fair. While I activate my super flight, and instead of exploding and falling into the car that's exploding, I zoom back up through the trees, up to the top of the paddock, and start zooming around, as this is how I've really been getting out of trouble all this time. I can just get high enough that the other creatures can't really affect me.
Makes
There's
sense.
so much baby murder.
Can we say that the Sasquatch was like a youngling we just didn't know? I killed it like, he's actually 11. He's just 7'2". He's 11. Like,
Yeah.
why are you doing this, sir? Because I don't care.
It makes me think of Monty Python and the Holy Grail with Sir Guinevere just slaughtering everybody.
All right. 3, 2, 1, drop.
I guess up there. Yep.
Ooh, Aaron's a tie.
All right. So, Andrell, you and I both have not walked away unscathed from our attempts at survival. So, for me, I'll say that while doing all those incredible acrobatics, and on my last slide through, unfortunately, while Tiny did get crushed by rocks, my momentum was not enough to dislodge me from it. So I just came to a dead stop, still firmly like skewered by Tiny's horn. So now I'm just like laying there with Tiny smushed under some rubble, still with a horn stuck in the top of my head. So I'm kind of.
I'd like to think that you did. I'd like to think that you did slide out, but the horn was in deep enough now. It just hit a geyser of blood, and it just squirts like you just the big hole in the head. And like, oh, it's just cranial pressure shooting out.
Both my eyes kind of go different directions as I lose blood.
All right, so my Befana was going really great until I went to draw yet another door, and because I was trying to pull the same trick twice, I slammed into my own door. And now the cats do have one of my bodies in their mouth. Several other parts of me have scampered away, but one of me is in a cat's mouth. For the overall game, Gibby, you are the winner, and you get to tell us how the story ends.
I think by playing my last card, which was invisibility, because now that Tim Thomerson, he's never going back. This is the happiest he's ever been. String of bad relationships. There are no dating apps then. So now that he's now that he's a were-raptor in this space zoo and he gets to hunt and live his best life and bring on these things to fight. Maybe he'll be friends with Grizz down the line when it comes down from their flying chicken hawk routine up there. But I just turn invisible, creep back into the woods, and wait for the next hunt. And or maybe I'll hunt the ponies because you got to go for something better. They got a wild hunt. They're gonna get a wild hunt.
Ooh, nice. I do think, postponing, all the players but the winner still having to describe how things went terribly wrong for themselves. Like, Grizzdrop, do you think it'd be fun to describe how things still in the end went terribly wrong for your character too?
Well, the only thing I could think of right off the bat is that I didn't survive the fire and the attack from the baby gorilla entirely unscathed, making it very difficult to hunt with a severely scarred up face. So I'm thinking that she's no longer on top of the food chain here. I'd still be able to fly, but
in my head,
now Tom.
you went down to the fire,
no problem.
the explosion hit, your face is half torn off, you shot to the sky, like, haha, you hit the dome, like, damn it, boom, and you land in a tree to heal up and come back at a later date, so.
Yeah, let's go with that. But yeah, Tom is definitely the, Tim Thomas or Tom Thomas or whatever. He's definitely the new apex predator of this enclosure.
Yeah. I want to thank everybody for playing today. I know it is late on a Sunday, so I appreciate you guys making the time. And just remember, even if you get abducted by aliens and forced to unexpectedly fight to the death for survival in a zoo for the entertainment of others, at least you got your friends there to watch. Have a good one.